step is heroes and headers. Heroes and headers are not necessarily program features. They do work for all the designer courses, but I think they make a lot of sense for programs, and that's why I'm including them in this webinar session. So what am I talking about? If we look at this example course, you see that above the course prerequisites, so we have two prerequisites groups here, one level maps demo courses, one video time demo courses. You have a header. And this header includes information about when you have been enrolled, when you're supposed to complete the course, the completion date, if it was already completed, the teacher in this course, and the progress. And this is what we call the course header. And I'm going to show you in a second how to create that. The second thing that I'm going to explain is how the hero activities work. So the hero activities are activities that are placed within the secondary navigations. If you look closely, if you see these items in the secondary navigation, they are not the usual suspects. These are not like what you would usually see: participants, grades, reports. What you see here are custom entries which are linked to activities, and how that's set up. I'm going to show you in our live demo. So in this webinar program, which we just created, let's add a course header. That was the first example. I'm going to the settings. Let's collapse them and go to the course header section within the course settings page. And I'm going to turn on most of them. So I want to see the progress bar, which tells me how far I am in the course, the enrollment start date. I don't have an enrollment end date set, so no need to enable that. I want to know the course completion date. I want to know the course due date. I'm going to create one later with the time management tool from Learning Tools. And let's show the teachers in the header as well. Once I've done that, I see the course header appearing. I don't see a teacher yet, and that is because there is no teacher. So let's create one. Enroll. I'm volunteering. I'm volunteering and assigning myself as a teacher. Once I've done that, I will be here. I can add additional custom information if necessary. You can pick from all the custom profile fields that you've set up on your site, and these can be included here, and it will tell you the name, the image, the email address, the role, and if messaging is turned on your site, messaging and contacting. The other thing which is missing is the due date, because if there's no due date, there's no reason to show it. So let's create a due date using, again, time management for that. Course due date. Let's say you've got 7 days, whatever, doesn't really matter. It's just an example anyway. And once I've done that, I see that the course start date, which is my personal enrollment date, not the start date of the course itself, was the 26th of July, and therefore the 2nd of August, 7 days after, is the due date for me. I do see the progress bar here, and it tells me 0 out of 6 criteria completed. So in order to explain what a criteria is, let's have a look at this course. So in this course, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 courses. Easy enough. And I have no activities. So it's exactly the 6 courses. And if you click on the progress bar, you do see these 6 video classes. To make things a little bit more interesting, let's create an additional activity. So let's say you're also supposed to, I don't know, give feedback. So I'm going to set up a feedback activity. And let's say you can manually mark it complete. That's totally sufficient for now. And let's save and return to the course. Once we've done that, we can pick it on the course completion settings. So I've got a feedback here now available. And now I've got 7 criteria. So criteria is the generic name for all the completion conditions that are set up. We currently support activity completion and course completion. We do not support completion by grade or by days enrolled or something like that. We've initially only support course completion, activity completion, because that's what matters to most corporate customers anyway. Once I've completed a specific activity, so let's go to one of the students. I'm going to pick student 1 again. So student 1 has no video class completed, so no courses, which is represented here. Nothing has been completed. But once I click on mark as done for the evaluation, I can see 1 out of 7 criteria completed. Now I can show you that if I click on the green part, it tells me that I've completed the activity evaluation. And if I click on the gray part, it tells me that I've completed these 6. I haven't completed, I am supposed to complete these 6 video classes. So that's the course header. And I would now move on to the hero activities. In order to do that, I will first log in as a teacher again. So editing turned on. And we've already got one activity here. So let's create another one. So let's say maybe a forum. And let's do one more, I don't know, maybe a folder. And now I've got 3 activities. And what I want is that these 3 activities are not displayed below the prerequisites, even though that would be possible. I want them to be displayed on its own page. So in order to do that, what I can do is I can move the prerequisites on their own tab. And once I've done that, I do have the prerequisites here, and I have the course activities here. So if you use a program to basically show and display dependencies, so first do these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 courses, or maybe just 1 or 2, and you want to explain that they are required to at least complete the course, then you can use this setup. And students who have already completed the prerequisites will be able to easily ignore them, and you can have a normal Moodle course here with all the additional features of Designer. There's another solution to that. You can also keep the prerequisites on the main course page if that is the most important thing for that course, which is possible. So I'm keeping those here on this page, but I still don't like that they are listed below, because they are generic stuff which is relevant across the whole course. What I do for that is I make them hero activities. We have a feature which we call hero activities, which allows us to make all the activities from section 0 hero activities, and therefore not show up on the main course page anymore, but be included into the secondary navigation, either everywhere in the whole course or only in the course main page. I prefer everywhere, and we can have a look at how that looks in a second. I can also make individual activities hero activities, no matter in which section they are, but this is, I think, the easiest solution to implement that. And what you now see is that you have the prerequisites on this page, and the other activities which we simply created in section 0 are here in the main navigation. So the section 0 was automatically hidden, and instead they're placed here. This allows you to have a completely different structure of the course, because you don't need to put those generic things which are valid across the whole course, no matter in which section you are, in which week, which topic you are, to be always available here. So if I click on evaluation, for example, I am now in the evaluation, and I will still see the other things. You might notice that there's one missing, which is the course. So let's make sure that that is there. So in order to get that back, let's go to the settings page, the course format, and add the course to the secondary menu, no matter on which page we are. And if I now go back to the evaluation, you see that I have the course and the class materials, etc., all on this page. Let me check once again. Oh, sorry, wrong settings page. There we go. If the appearance is set up correctly, which is the case. So let's have a look at this from a student point of view once more. So once all the additional secondary navigational entries, which are only visible for roles with higher privileges like teachers or managers, anyway, you see that this is now very simple. You have the course contents, you have the class materials, you have a discussion forum, and you have the evaluation. So basically, this makes the secondary navigation a tab navigation. And I personally really like this approach because it allows students to easily navigate. Tabs are super simple to understand. If you want to make them even more dominant, you can give them a nice color. You can really make them appear very dominant. And then your course will have something like a tab navigation, a tabbed course format if you want. You can obviously just have links here which point to specific sections in order to have a section navigation here if you want. You can add any activity here that you want. So this gives you a lot of flexibility, but it really feels native and very similar to how Moodle would do other things. Logging back into the site as an administrator in order to show you some more stuff. So let's assume I have additional sections here. So I do not only have the general section. Let's say I've got a second section for, I don't know, week 1 maybe, and maybe here week 2, whatever. And I'm just adding, let's say, maybe a chat here. Week 1 chat. And for this activity, I have, like for every activity, but for this also, I have a hero activity section in the settings page of the activity. So I can say this activity is supposed to be displayed everywhere. Maybe, I don't know, at a very late stage, so the order is high. Even though it is not in the section 0. Let's pick maybe horizontal circles for that. And once I've done that, you see that I've got a normal activity here in the section, and I've got the same activity here. So if something is very important, if something is required to, I don't know, see the structure of the course, by using the hero activities, you can easily put them into the secondary navigation, even if you don't want the section 0 to be hidden, or even if you don't want all of the activities in the section 0 to be hidden. Let me show you one more example, the one which I set up earlier, which is the webinars here. So let's create a new course called Webinars by bdecent. Well, that already exists, so let's call it a little bit differently. So let's pick, I don't know, the flow layout. And in this course, what I'm going to do is I'm going to style it a little bit. So I, first of all, want to turn on completion tracking. I want to reduce the number of announcements to 0 to hide them completely. I want to show prerequisites above the course contents. I want to enroll students. No, I don't want to enroll students. Don't need that. Let's open the prerequisites in a new tab. So basically, we're just building something like a listing, a page which can be used to show specific courses. And so far, so good. Let's keep it like that. Let's now go to the course completion settings. And under the completion of other courses, let's pick a couple of courses. And let's say Game On, Olympic Games. Why not? Why not? Let's just keep the 3 because they look nice. Then the fundamentals session and the UX like a pro webinar. So we've got 3 here. And now it looks like this, which is obviously not super nice like now. So let's again get rid of the announcements forum. Let's get rid of the general section by turning on the hide section option. So we only have the prerequisites left once I turn editing off. And what I now want to do is, and I'm just copying a little bit here. I first need to reload the page, my bad. There we go. So basically what I'm setting here is background to a specific color, text color, hiding secondary navigation because I don't need it, some padding improvements and some things that are hidden. Once I've done that, that's a new one exactly. It's supposed to look a lot nicer. So first of all, you won't see a big difference. But once I turn editing off, it looks like this. And I can, of course, easily add more courses, add text above that, use the groups to have like several below each other. You can keep those tiles smaller if you want to create something like a Netflix episodes page, where you simply have maybe 4 or 5 in one row, and so that students see like in one easy to navigate page what episodes are available, just by adding a little bit of CSS here, which I, if you want to, can provide in the forum. Just tell me and I can just post it there. And you get a totally different look and feel, even though it's just a normal Moodle course. And I think that's a good final statement from my side. Keep in mind that we are still working just in a course. We don't need an additional program. We don't need the overhead of that. The setup is just like any other Moodle course, so you don't need to train your clients to how to use a program or something else. You don't need to assign them additional privileges. You just need to tell them, or turn on that feature, and then add the courses as a course completion condition. That's it.